Right, speaking of Gen AI, it's time now to take a look at the promise and pitfalls of using Gen AI in HR while unveiling the GCC's first Gen AI-enabled comprehensive HR tech. Generative AI really is reshaping the way HR professionals approach talent management, employee engagement, and organizational growth. And overall, it really is changing the way that we work. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to tell us more, it's a great pleasure to welcome our next speaker. Please join me in welcoming Mrigank Tripathi, President of Growth at PeopleStrong.
We were then able to create our own generative AI HR model. It's already in use with some companies. We've already launched it. But over here, I wanted to introduce this in a specific way. And I wanted to talk to you a bit more about what are the type of use cases that you can potentially see from this, right? So what we've done is we've actually embedded it across the entire talent landscape. We haven't said, look, if you want to do core, come to us. No. If you want to do something which is related to your employees, your talent, because we all understand that today the war is not about how many leaves do you have or regularize your attendance. That's not the war. The war is how do you retain your talent? The questions that your talent is asking you, how do you actually answer for those? And that's really where we've actually gone about doing this. So these are all the areas where we've embedded generative AI, right? Completely embedded it and made it very, very simple. So let's take the first example. And I'm just going to very, very quickly just show you a few examples of this. So say performance, right? Now, a show of hands, if anybody over here, when you roll out the performance management in your company and you ask everybody to put up their goals and objectives and key results and blah, 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 how long does it typically take? Less than 3 months. Less than 3 months. Less than 2 months. Less than 1 month. Less than 15 days. Less than a week. Okay, we stopped at a month. Less than a month, you're not able to do it. And even when you do it, what actually happens is you'll have, pardon the language, you'll have crappy goals being put in, right? You don't necessarily have them absolutely aligned. You don't have everything lining up to exactly what the business objectives are. How do you do that? So can you not have to send emails? And this was again, customer feedback to us. This is a big pain problem. How do we do it? How do we reduce it? Because just a huge headache for us to go after all our employees and say, hey, please fill up your goals. Forget about even filling up the data of the goals. Just make your goals at the beginning of the year. It takes us 2 years, 2 months to do it. So what we did was we introduced generative AI, right? And here's how it works. Take a look. This is now the CEO. The person has said, here are my top 3 objectives. We made it top down. And these are the other 3 people who are actually going to be, the CEO has now said, just make the goals for them. And generative AI makes it. Keeping their context in mind, keeping the company context in mind, keeping their past record in mind, keeping their past sales in mind, keeping their past track records in mind, keeping what is actually required by the company, keeping what the growth trends are in the industry, keeping all of that in mind, it has generated these things. I mean, of course, you always have the option of editing them, but you see what it's done. Now it's just turned the table. You don't have to go bottom up, you can go top down. And you can actually just literally have your entire company set up in less than a week. And that too, if you wanted it, you could just literally say, okay, done, and you're through with it. Not only does it actually enhance your time to market with your performance systems, it also gives you better goals, more contextual goals, better results from an overall perspective, right? So this is one example. So you could actually literally, CEO says it, cascade them across the company, 7 days done. Right? So that's one simple problem I've solved. I'm not trying to, again, sell this to you. These are just some problems that we have actually solved. I'll give you another example, right? Let's look at a talent coach. So when we went back to our customers, one of the things that we actually asked them is, tell us, what do employees tell you when they leave? Why are they leaving? Why do employees leave? And the number one answer that we got to that was, when an employee leaves, they'll turn around and say, I don't see any growth over here. Has anybody heard that before? Yes? I don't see any growth. Do employees come over here and see that? Now, the problem could be wherever. The problem could be, it could be a career path has not been set up. It could be that the manager is wrong. It could be that nobody's actually talked to that person. Whatever that is, there is a problem that exists. And this is not a finger-pointing session. The problem exists in every single company. I'm pretty sure that exists in, the last company on earth would also have the same thing. I don't see a growth. Why? Because transparency is not there. Because you don't have somebody that you can go to directly and say, hey, I don't want to do this job. I want to do something else. But can GenAI help? Let's see how that works. So this is our chatbot, right? And you have a talent coach. Now the person is asking, I just want a alternate career path. The guy's a product manager. They're able to actually tell you that your skills and that your skill fit is this much. Now, basis that, it'll say, hey, your areas of improvement are these. Recommend me some courses. Because learning is also intertwined in this, you actually can get to saying, here are the courses for you to do. Person lines up, and bam, the person's on his way. We've actually seen a reduction in attrition. We've actually seen an enhancement in productivity. Basis this, right? I'm not just saying this because, this is a nice to have type of thing. But it is actually happening. Now, this is not all. The same use case could also be used for the person moves into a new role. A person moves into a new role, it typically takes them 3 months or about that much to even get started to be able to do something good. The system, if it's a talent coach, think of it like saying, hey, just start walking. I'm your concierge. I'm here with you in your hand. Whatever you require, I'm here. The entire company's knowledge is here. Your best interest is here, right over here. Whatever you want to ask it. How can I perform better? What should I be actually doing? Whatever type of question you want, ask it. And it'll give it to you in your context, right? So that's another use case that we had. So personalized, contextual, always available. Very, very good things to have for employees. Again, how do you sort of make it available on your mobile, in your context, directly from the system? All great stuff, right? I mean, from an employee perspective, it's great. Then we went to the CHROs. The CHROs said, boss, all of this is all very well and good. But where is my data? I don't have any data. I have problems in pivots, and I have Excel sheets and reams of sheets available, but I'm not able to just understand what the hell to do. What should I be doing? So we said, okay, let's look at some analytics side, right? Now, again, on the chatbot, AI-powered analytics, ask a query. Suggest me top 4 areas what I should focus on in my compensation cycle. Relevant question, I would say. What should I be doing in my next compensation cycle? Basis my analysis, here is what you're doing all right, okay? More insights on internal equity. It can keep on going in a conversation, and it'll keep on telling you more and more and more, till the time that you say, okay, you've got all of this, right? Are we paying people commensurate? Basis your compensation and the value that they're providing. How do you assert value? Value basis performance, right? If I'm not performing, but I'm getting top dollar, I shouldn't be top G. I shouldn't be, but I am. Now over here, departments where we are paying more. All of this is data that's with us. All that we've done is we've ensured that security exists, your context exists, HR exists, and now you can see this. These are 5 employees whom we are paying more than industry standard. And here's what their performance is. I think the answer is fairly clear for the CHRO, right? What should they be doing? They need to sort of sort out a few things. All of this data has existed since time, well, not time immemorial, since the time that you've actually had an HR tech system. The only problem is you've never been able to get to it. You've never been able to analyze it. You've never been able to get to the right depth of it or ask it questions the way that you would your assistant, for example, or your data analyst. You can't do that. Now you can, using our GenAI system. Yeah? So, I mean, you can have these analytics. We're doing all of this across all of these elements, and we've combined everything together. So, across that entire spectrum that you saw, which is everything from from recruitment to core HR to everything else, you can do this. So if in recruitment, you could create job descriptions. Core HR, new joiner engagement, coach promotion. Learning, create articles in learning. All of this is possible on the system. I'm not going into depths of it simply because I have a bit of a restriction of time. But you understand what I'm saying, right? That we've literally gone in and said, here is a use case. It's there. It's developed. And it's available to you. Right? That's what I wanted to say. I seem to have sort of done fairly well on my time. Thank you. Thank me, Gauri, later for this. I'm here. We're here at the PeopleStrong booth. Please do visit us. If there are any questions, I do have a bit of time, so I can take a few questions if there are any. Any questions? No? Thank you. Any questions? No. Got it. Do please visit us. Take a look at the system yourselves and see what we can do together. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Have a good day.